All right, well, we are about ready to go ahead and get started at the Southwest Elite this time. And so thank you all who've tuned in online and all of you that are around here ringside and present. We really appreciate you coming, spending your time with us, and I think it's going to be well worth your while. We won't give a whole bunch of intro comments here, but going through them this morning, I thought it was a very, very fun set to sort through and look at, and I think you'll find the same. Lots and lots of breed pigs, papered pigs, that are available in this set, and obviously a very good set of crossbreds. So I'm excited to get started, and we'll go down through the line. The way we'll preview them is we'll do all of the gilts first, and then we'll do the male pigs separate there after the conclusion of the gilt preview. So we'll run all through all the gilts of all the breeders, and then we'll come back around and do the male pigs there at the end. I think there's 23 of those. So, again, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. It's a fun crowd already gathered around, and if you're on the way here, we look forward to having you here as well. So we'll go ahead and get started here in the first set with our consignment of Brockman Farms. We'll run our gilts first and then run our male picks first there when we get to the male round. So if y'all are ready, we'll go ahead and kick these first trio of them out. Will be tag 45, tag 46, and tag 47. So again, these are all three our consignments there from Brockman Farms. Tag 45 and 46 would be a pair of 42-liter gilts that are the more belted gilts there on the farthest side of the ring. And 42.6 and 42.8. Those pigs are Gratitudes, which is one of the stud monkey sons we've kept here from last time. And then their mom's a first litter. Okay, so we're already off. All right, wrong tags. Okay, so we're gonna start with tag 70. So what do we got? 44, 69, and 70. Okay, so we'll start with tag 44, 69, and 70, and we'll just work that. Kinley has tag 44, which would be a now I'm all messed up here. 44-liter gilt. There on the far side, it's white back-legged. So that's one of a trio of 44-liter gilts or 44-liter pigs we'll offer today. 2 gilts and a boy pig. Those are some of the first pigs out of Nightmares that we've had, which was the boar that we sold here last year. And so again, that's tag 44, 44-8. That's kind of on the farthest side away from you there if you're sitting around ringside. Again, Nightmares, Revival, and we'll go from there. There'll be a few of those we'll talk about. Camlin's got tag 69, which is 47-7. She'd be a stud monkey there on a first litter wild side gilt. And then the off-belted one, tag 70 here coming across the center of the rings, one of very many 43-liter in the fires. Again, all from Brockman Farms from us. You can read the rest of the pedigree info. I'll go ahead and let these guys go ahead and talk about this first pin.
Well, appreciate the opportunity to come back, Josh and Jason and Carrie. It was an awesome sale last year. Kind of started off with being the Southwest Elite Gilt sale and then sprinkled in a few males, and there was a real special one that sold. And if you followed along, obviously a lot of quality that went on and won, not only in the Gilt ring, Prospect ring, as well as the Texas Elite, San Antonio, and then on to OIE. And then, it's kind of neat that you're able to come here midweek and sell a group of gilts, and then obviously we're going to see the males at the end of the preview that have the ability to go on, and then on the female side in particular have a return on investment there. And so as we kind of get things kicked off and go, we'll kind of visit about that lot 44, which is the 44-liter gilt there that's actually out of Nightmares, like Josh said, sold in this ring at this exact same sale last year. It was one of the more memorable baby pigs, and it's neat to see the very first progeny to hit the sell ring here. And I think this gilt tells a lot of what that boar was and what he's going to do, and a very good opportunity. I think each one of these gilts here, the way the terms are listed, is the winning bidder owns the gilt. If they wanted to pay half, they lease the gilt and comes back here to Brockman Farms. But that wide belted gilt there, if you watch her come at you, her width and spread through her chest, she's flat about her sternum. I saw her in the pin back there, and the top of her blade and where she comes out of the upper portion of her body is absolutely incredible. Feeds back with a great big loin edge, a big upper hip, and for a very powerful gilt that's bold sprung, very, very square in her build there as well. I like that tag 44 quite a bit.
So as we talk about that, and girls, y'all can go ahead and probably work that first pin out, and we'll work to the second pin. But as Kelton kind of said, I should have put in the housekeeping on the front side. You'll notice 3 different colored tags here on the Gilts. Orange tags will be bid to own, pay half to lease. Green tags will be lease only options, and then blue tags will be bidding outright to own, so buy outright. So again, orange tags like these 3 and all of ours will be bid to own, pay half the money with the option to pay half the money to lease. And then green tags, which there's a few of those, will be lease option only. And then blue tags will be bid to own outright. So they'll work these this next trio of them of ours out into the ring, and these will be tag 45, 46, and 47. Again, I'll just go ahead and make the comments of tag 45 and 46 will be a pair of 42-liter Gilts that are Gratitudes. Stud Monkey Son there that we kept. Their mom's a first litter buckle up Gilt that I really have high hopes for. This would be 42-8 that's coming into the ring, tag 45 right there. Kinley's coming out with a wider belt at 42-6, tag 46. So again, Gratitude. And then their mom's an 11-liter buckle up. She'd be buckle up in the woods on Major League's mom. Mate to one of Albus's Summer Bears there, belted one last time that I really, really liked. And this sow did a very, very phenomenal job, I think. I like this pair of Gilts really, really well. The Gratitude thing was fun. That was a deep litter. I've got a lot of faith on the top and the bottom side of this pedigree here. Tag 45 and tag 46 out here now.
Well, the sale last year was very good, and as Kelton's already alluded to, obviously Nightmares came out of here last year, and one of the sires that those of us that got to go to Laird's last year and see the set of boars that he had in the spring, that was the boar that he ran last or next to last, but obviously one of the ones that stood out there, and Josh and Kerry's influence in our business and in the state of Texas is very good, and what's going to be very interesting tonight, and we can talk about these and their phenotype here in just a second. What'll be interesting tonight is the influence that you're going to get to see that comes out of this group. But I think you're going to see a lot of pigs, not only from their firm, but also across the breeders in this thing that they're going to have a lot of the Brockman Farms influence in their pedigree. Not only on the top side, but all the way through. So I think a very nice set of pigs in here, and what you can see, and I'm not going to just sit here and break every one of them down, but Josh and what they put in their hogs in terms of their arm, their head, their substance, their rib cage. I think you can see that consistently across the set. We've only seen 2 pins so far, but dive in here. And what I would encourage you to do throughout the evening is just ask questions and figure out the sow power. And Josh is going to talk about that when he talks about each one of these individually. Once again, I think the one Kinley's on the far side, obviously that to me that resembles really what those guys are known for around here in terms of their skull and their rib shape, the size and the flexibility of their hind leg. Another 3 really good Gilts in here from Brockman Farms.
The last one to drop in there that Camlin's kind of got on the mud is 40-11, tag 47. We'll just make the comments of her again. That's one of the first Hallelujahs, or the first one you'll see today. Her mom's a 62-liter Here I Am sow out of Made Alive's mom that's been very, very fun for us. That Gilt is, as you can see, extremely stupid, but I think those 40 liters are very, very nice. And you'll see a couple of boy mates to her here in just a little bit as well. So again, those will be tagged 44 or 45, 46, and 47. The next pair in will be lot 1 and lot 67, or tag 1 and tag 67. Anytime you've got an event or anybody has an event like this, it's kind of one of those tasks to figure out where you're going to start and what you're going to put in the first slot, and so we put some thought into that. And these 43s that you've seen some and we'll continue to see as we go. I think we're one of the deepest litters that we've had, and this 4311 off-belted one that Camlin has will be lot 1 to start the sale tonight. They're out of In the Fire, which is one of the stud monkey sons that we went and gathered up from A+ Genetics over in East Texas. In the Fire's mother is One Truth sow from Reed Livestock. That'll be a mate to Hallelujah's mother and Let It Shine's mother. Caden's bear that was reserve hamp there at Houston's mom. So we've had a lot of fun with that set of pigs out of that boar in this first set. And then her mom would be the mother of the $27,000 high seller we had here last year. Aunt would be the mother of Mielstein's Reserve Hampshire there at San Antone. And then Scott and Juan Carlos showed a Gilt there last time out of 10-6 that was very, very well received when they got her out. And then that sow also had the 5th out dark there at Summer Type as well. So that's lot 1. And then tag 67, it's the white front-legged Gilt. Should be a dog-eat-dog, tricked out 4. This is that sow's second litter. Her first litter was in December or in October. Geyer and them gathered up one of those and sold him there in the draft for $20,000 just the other day to Crossroads. So that'd be the same sow there as 46-7. The dog-eat-dog deal after Laird's deal was interesting to me, and I wanted to plug him into a few of those sows, and that's where we get these 46s.
Well, I definitely think a neat pair, and obviously the sale lead off is in the ring. And whenever Josh kind of pitched or said that he was going to have this sale, or he and Jason kind of come together, like I said, it's neat to have had a set of Gilts here this time of the year that obviously you have the ability to own and then show or get back to these operations here, particularly on Josh's deal. He doesn't let go of Gilts, and he and Carrie tend to just hold on to them and go, and that's what's made their deal so good and so strong. And just to be real honest with you, I don't think you'd ever have the opportunity to own Gilts of this quality without this event. And so it's neat that they open things up and give you that access. This tag 1 Gilt, obviously the leadoff Gilt, and out of In the Fire, I didn't know much about that boar. I was actually in the Midwest this last week, and I don't probably get into pedigrees near as much as what I need to, or definitely not as much as I did whenever I was breeding them. But there was a particular litter there up there that absolutely floored me, and asked what they're out of. Dug in a little bit deeper. This In the Fire deal is going to be very unique and very, very good. And I think this is an awesome opportunity to own a female there, even though they don't read anything like on paper. Are the same in terms of pedigree there. The off-belted Gilt actually resembles that other one quite closely there. A really good pair in here. Again, tag 1 is the 43-liter Gilt. Tag 67 is 46-7.
This next pair in will be our last 2 Gilts to come through here, and we'll just talk about the one that's out in the ring first. In 68, be 43-6, the kind of narrower belted one will be a mate to lot 1 that we just talked about. So again, the same deal, In the Fire, quite frankly. Mom's I didn't mention, a mate to the champion Amp at Dallas a couple of years ago as well, and you can read the online listing on that tag 68. Tag 43, this chromed up one that Camlin has, is another 44 liter. So again, Nightmares Revival. Here I am, and going back to Next Mom. I made the comment there, that was one of the Gilts we videoed yesterday, that some litters are just special, some animals are just special. There's 3 of those in the sale, and I could say I think they're 3 of the better animals that we've put together and offered, and certainly under one roof. If this Gilt will get her stuff together here and cooperate like she did yesterday, I think she is, you can make your choices where you want to. She's my favorite Gilt that we've ever offered for sale, and that's tag 43. I think she's out of a neat sow, out of a neat litter. We'll see a neat brother here in just a little bit. And so again, that's tag 43 that Camlin has, and tag 68 that Kenley has.
Yeah, another really nice pair of Gilts out here, and the thing about this sale is everyone that Josh has got listed as bid to own, pay half to lease. But you say that, and the value that these Gilts hold, obviously within our market and what we've got going on right now, is incredibly valuable. And a Gilt like that, a Gilt with a head and an arm like that, with a genuine chest like that, and once again, that's got their rib shape, their body shape, and that size of a hind leg is awfully good. And if Josh tells you that's one of the better gilts that they've ever offered, well, then I would certainly believe him. But that's an awfully good one that he's got there started, and just a continuation of a very good set of gilts that Josh and Kerry have offered thus far.
So the next group in would be Linder Show Pigs, and we'll bring their 8 gilts again here. This first pair will be a pair of blue ones, like crosses there, and certainly thanks to Fallon and Luke and Landon and the commitment they make to this sale last year and continue to do again. I know they've got their farm sale this weekend, and certainly we'd encourage you to go support that. But they've made this thing a priority last year and easily done it again, and I think you'll see that here. These 2 blue gilts are tag 50 and tag 74. Tag 74 is going to be the slightly darker blue in there that's kind of closer to the outside of the ring. Tag 50 would be the bit smaller one that's lighter colored there. I'll tell you, tag 50's they're both out of Mercy Rules. They're littermate 54 litters. Mercy Rules white flag. Again, they're Mercy Rules on what Luke says, a young white flag Shug sow that we think has a very high ceiling. Sow line traces back to that Kirby Foundation sow. It goes to that step 1 pedigree that if you've been around and looked at Linder Show Pigs very long at all, you know when it ties back to Kirby. That's been very, very fun. So the light cross deal is what it is. Again, both orange tag gilts from Linder Show Pigs, bid to own, pay half to lease.
You know, I think whenever you I guess again think about an operation, and you think about Linder Show Pigs. They've had so much success both in the barrel ring and the gilt sector of things. And again, not trying to just pigeonhole or limit things, their possibilities or all that they offer. But the first thing that I go to is blues, and I think again, kind of going back to the Kirby sow that Josh talked about, and then continually go through there. I don't know how many times in the blue divisions that Lindners have been the champion or reserve, or obviously had the most sale winners of any operation that there are. You get into 2 blue gilts here with an awesome pedigree. Both of them here look a lot alike, and obviously backed by a white flag sow here. So you can think about the sow possibility. Again, Texas Elite, San Antonio, as you're going to go on. Again, from a firm there that's established themselves not only in every sector, but particularly the blue group right here. I know Luke was really proud of this set whenever he sent them here. Again, tag 50, tag 74, they are litter mates, Mercy Rules on a white flag sow.
This next trio in will also be from Linder Show Pigs, and tag 51, tag 52, and tag 75. Tag 51 will be the white one. Tag 52 will be the kind of more blue one. And then tag 75 will be the light blue one. We'll just talk about them again. Tag 52 is another 52 litter. Great white flag, and just Luke's comments there. I love these great whites, and think you will too, and you'll see why. And these pair of 52s and why we don't sell many white or blue females. So again, 52-3, tag 51 would be the white or predominantly white. I looked at her earlier, and she seems solid white to me from my vantage point. So that's that one. Tag 52 would be 1-8. Again, great white, heavy hitter. It says this gilt is out of that heavy hitter on White Flag's aunt and a mate to their $9,000 opener pig in tag 52. So that's going to be the blue one. And then tag 75 would be great white flag as well. Another 52 litter. They're mate to the first one we talked about in this pen.
Well, the white and the blue thing, obviously last year it gained some momentum in our state, obviously with a couple of those pigs getting a piece of some shows down here. And I think you can look back at Texas Elite last year. I thought Luke had one. I thought Will had one that were incredibly memorable that came out of that show that ended up being champion in reserve blue and arguably, maybe a couple of the better, blues that we've had at that show in a very, very long long time. And so I would say, I guess what I would tell you, you can look in here and study them and dissect them how you want. But that breed is up and coming, and I think we're past the point of you looking at a blue and thinking they don't have a chance, because they do. They absolutely do. The other thing I'd tell you is when you look in here and you've got bid to own, pay half to lease. The white pigs, and I think Kelton would say the same. The Yorkshire pigs are as hard to find as any breed in the country right now, and I think all of us that have sows are trying to find white gilts to inject those down here to just to try to make them better. And Luke has had as good of a run in the white program as anyone down here. So I think a great opportunity with the blue gilt, with the two white gilts in here that you've got. And once again, just a reminder, those Will and Luke had that pair of blue gilts at Elite last year that were incredibly memorable. So pay attention here, and I'd latch on to not only to a great set of gilts, but to a very good program.
So we kind of get into the first of many of the breed pigs here as we go through the afternoon. This will be also Lender Show pigs, and all three of these will be the 3-spot gilts that they brought, and we'll just talk about their pedigrees, and then I'll let Kelton talk about them. Tag 3 is going to be a Spot the Ball Times Square, and again, that Speak Up Sloan Sow would be the matriarch of their spot herd there in the Hill Country, and for Luke and Fallon and the crew there. They said this is the best spot gilt they've ever offered. She has a handful of mate brothers that they'll sell this weekend at their farm sale. They think are awfully special, and I got to see that tag 3 earlier, and I was surprised to see that she didn't have a green tag in her ear, but she's available for purchase. Lot 53 is also another Spot the Ball there on Pocket Change's sister. Again, another gilt they would never sell, but we appreciate the commitment they've made to this gilt sale. So that's lot 53, and then lot 73 will be a Pocket Change Titan. Sow line goes back to that Clarity $45,000 boar they sold at Lackey's there last time, and they think, again, another incredible spot gilt. Their program there has been very fun, and I'm excited to see what Kelton has to say about these 3-spot gilts.
Well, I obviously don't follow the spot deal just real closely and go, but I did go to Luke's last year when he was having an online sale and saw 3 pins in a row of spots, and I said, hey, and I had a couple guys wanting spots, Barras, and I asked him which ones. He said, I think this kind or this one or whatnot, and I said, well, it looked like to me, kind of close your eyes and pick, and that's what it looks like on these spots, the spot gilts here, and I think all 3 are very good, very high quality. They offer just a little bit of differences. I'd say you definitely need to study on things. Again, I've talked about that I'm not necessarily a pedigree junkie, preferably on the spot side of things. What I do know is I went to a board preview the very first part of July, and the Spot the Ball came out, and there was actually people around me that said, hey, one guy said, I'm going to bring my Chester sow to that board. One guy said, I want to have a spot sow because of it. All I said is I have no sows, but he's one of the top 5 boards I've seen this time, and that board is absolutely phenomenal. These 3 gilts are really good. This one that Kinley drives right out of here hit me awfully hard when she comes in, but great group. Again, Lidner's known for the spots that have won. You look at what things are going, you're able to dip into, like Jason said, not only a trio of phenomenal spotted females, but a program that's established in this ring. Show gilt sow, whatever direction you go. I think the last 2 days approved spots are very valuable as well.
Yeah. Again, thanks to Luke and Fallon, and good luck this weekend at your farm sale. That's a fun set of gilts. Next in will be Night Show Pigs, and Cameron and Tad and Scott, and Cameron sent us a very nice trio of gilts, and you'll notice as these 3 come through, they're all green tags, so they'll be bid to lease only, no option to purchase, and I got to go to Cameron's last weekend for their farm sale and get to kind of help pick picked the gilts that came, and I was kind of hoping he'd put the option to bid and own some of them, but that tells you the faith that he's got in them. This first one, tag H 26-2, and off-belted one. She's a mate sister. He offered a pair of gilts there at the end of his farm sale last week for about $30,000 a piece, and this is another mate sister there, and that off-belted tag 8, one-way, wide awake, 2020. Again, mom's a mate sister to the mom of Nightlife, that $150,000 Culture Shock son that Evan and crew bought there last spring. Tag 58 be the next one that we can talk about. It would be the kind of the belted marked one there. Again, green tag, lease only. That gilt's a naughty, 8 seconds. And I made the statement there talking at Cameron's farm sale. That naughty deal at Moyer's, I knew he was excited about early on. And then the gilt here gathered up as a gilt they gathered from Tyler Wellman there from the Hoff-Schulte crew at OYE last time. Mate brother to that lot 8 at their farm sale last weekend. That was awfully popular. And then tag 77 would be the blue gilt there. Again, lease only. She's a Rolling Stone, heavy hitter, wedding blues. Mate to their $12,000 opener pig, and then they have another mate there in the farm sale, brought $12,000. Mom's the mother of the dryer leadoff pig that had a great run in the Midwest so far. 4th overall bear at the NJSS, and 3rd overall light cross there at CPS. As Cameron puts it here on this blue, and this gilt is different. I would certainly agree, and that is one beautiful pattern and color. So, again, night show pigs, tags 77, 58, and 8.
Very nice set of gilts in here from Cameron, and we'll talk about the one that Cam's on first, a one-way gilt. And to me, we've seen some of those one-ways and some of those lead-offs, and maybe those bore sire just a little bit differently. But I know that Will had put a couple one-way sons in there at Idaloo, and had a really good set of pigs out of him. And to me, where she's at in terms of her immaturity and her growth and her length of hip and her extension of hock is about where the value of that boar has lied, and those pigs just seem to get better every day of their life as they continue on down the road. So a really nice gilt on the far side there that Cam's driving, and then the naughty gilt that Josh had referenced there that Kendall's on there in the middle. That one just looks like I guess a generator would be irrelevant since Cameron's getting her back, but she does look like a generator to me. But the naughty thing, and then the 8 seconds on the bottom side, which I believe 8 seconds was on the bottom side of the Keplinger boar also. Is that right? 8 seconds was on the bottom side of the $1 million boar there that sold earlier this summer. That gilt, I think she's got tremendous upside as a show gilt with her head and her arm and the size of her hind leg and the way that everything works. And then another very nice blue gilt in here that once again, we've got those blue divisions at Texas Elite, and certainly she would have a spot there.
Burke. Thanks, Cameron and Tad and Scott and crew there from Shallow Water. Next in, again, go back to the breed pigs here. And Canese show pigs, no stranger to winning stuff, especially in breed divisions as these come out. So tag 7 is going to be his leadoff gilt tonight, and that's going to be the Poland gilt. Again, she's an orange tag, bid to own, pay half to lease out of Light Years ADR. Again, just to read Russell's comments, we think this one's plenty salty and will be extremely competitive come February and March, or you can add her to your breeding program. Mom's a full sib there to the champion Poland Bear a few years back and the 4th overall gilt at San Antonio. Mom raised the champion and 3rd overall Poland gilts at the 26th Texas Elite last time. 2 cell-making bears at Texas Majors last time. Champion Poland gilt at the Grandstand last time. And also produced the reserve Poland gilt at the Texas Elite in 25. So you read that, and looks like that pedigree, all they do is win. So that's tag 7 on the Poland, and then tag 57 being Onward top shelf. Again, that's the Berkshire gilt. Again, both of these gilts bid to own, pay half to lease. Russell, we thank you so much for sending an extremely fun pair that looks like Canese show pigs all the way through.
Yeah, for sure. And, the Canese deal, it doesn't matter what breed it is. It seems like they always end up on top. And if you had to just make me bet or guess, are going back and reporting, I should say, who won a particular breed at the Texas Elite or who won a particular breed through the winter, if I had the field, I would take Canese as my bet. And you come in here, this Poland gilt is one of those that hits me really, really hard. And, again, it takes uniqueness for a breed to win, and you just don't find Polands that they're built this right in terms of their shoulder, their elbow, where their hind leg sets, where she comes down to the surface, her muscle texture and ability to just drive. It will be very unique there, and then she has got an absolutely killer look there from the side. The Berkshire Gilt doesn't maybe have nearly as list of accolades there on the south side, I guess, but I tell you what, this Gilt's really, really good, and this Onward deal there, I get to work with Evan Green and the 66 Ventures crew quite a bit on a daily basis, and Onward has been absolutely fun to watch and fun to go through. I like this Gilt again, just body shape, her bone work. She's clean about her joints and still very, very good. Like Josh said, Canesi always brings the heat on the breed side of things, or really anything they do. I know he always puts a lot of focus on these ones at live sales for sure, of getting along and hanging banners there. So tag 7 is the Poland, 57 is the Berkshire.
Next in will be Albus Show Pigs, and the fastest growing show pig herd in America, as Lackey likes to put it. But again, nobody's fools to know that Albus has done a lot of business and has a great friendship with us, and have sunk in the finances, the time, and the effort to go from 0 literally to 70 in a couple of years, and done it in the most impressive way possible in my mind. So brought 2 Gilts in this set, and lot 12 we'll talk about first there, and she's an above all, top it off purebred Berkshire. No, I'm kidding. Okay, the Berkshire Appearing Gilt is a crossbred. She's a stand firm, buckle up, and that sow's actually originated from here. She's out of a 74-liter Gilt that they've got and bought as a young Gilt. That's a mate to Mason's Reserve Blue at Angelo there a couple of years back, and then stand firm is the stud monkey son that we had here. That Reed and Vincent bought, and these first ones have looked a lot of fun. I've seen that Gilt literally from Cody's video since the day she was born, and she's looked like that her entire life. I think she's very, very neat. Lot 61 would be the belted one out here. Again, Gratitude, Revival. That sow had a cell maker at San Antonio last year, and then recently just had the Reserve Division 3 there at the Michigan Livestock Expo. Again, both orange tag, bid to own, pay half to lease. Lot 12 is the Burke Appearing, and lot 61 will be the belted one.
Well, I'll start out with lot 12, the Burke Appearing one. It says on here, bred sow purchased from Conover. Is that right, Josh? No, I'm just messing with him. No, to be in all honesty, bid to own, pay half to lease. We have 10 or 12 of these Burke sows now, and it's pretty tough, and we do a lot of R&D there to try to figure it out. I know Wintex does too, but that Gilt's got the markings to try, and so if that's something you want to try, I mean, in past that's a very nice pig. Looks like she'll grow, looks like she'll get big and elevate and do all the things that she needs to do. Stand firm, buckle up, and then the belted Gilt here that Mason brings in is another very nice Gilt. Those guys have done an awesome job, and I just want to compliment Mason and Cody on the job that they've done. Mason's one of the really talented young kids in our business, and it's always fun watching these young kids out here trying to make a name for themselves and come out here and raise pigs and put the set together here that he did.
You should have thanked Whitney the most. So we jump here again back into our actual pedigreed and papered pigs here in Savage Genetics next, lot 9 and lot 59. Again, both bid to own, pay half to lease here in our Oklahoma consignments. The lot 9 is going to be the Landrace Gilt, half blood, 40-4 Wildcat. Again, awesome mother there that won in Perry for the McGrew family. Raised 2 top 5 Gilts and a San Antonio class winner there in 26 this last time. And then they note here the half-blood pigs at Wintex have been awesome. We're really excited about what ours look like. Very stout, neat necked, and the kind that will make very good big ones. Take advantage. She sells tonight. And then tag 59 would be the belted one out here. Again, bid to own, pay half to lease. Tonto, Casey, again, sired by Tonto and her mother, won Kansas City. What else do you need to say from there? But comes from a killer litter, yet the obvious one that sticks out. Huge forearm, body shape, good big feet, and true big legs. We've been fortunate to raise the champion hamp at San Antonio the last 2 times. Todd says this one could make the three-peat. So, again, huge ROI for a female. They don't usually sell Hampshires that look like this. Again, Savage Genetics, Lot 9 and Lot 59.
Well, you just heard kind of what that Hampshire side of things does, and if I am thinking about Savage and thinking about the winners, obviously the first place I go is the Hampshire side of things and what they've done, kind of revolutionized Hampshire show pigs in the show ring and the competitive side of things there, and yet at the same time, this particular gilt there just looks a little different to me, and I was able to see these. Donnie gave us a tour one night, and that was always enjoyable to go through, and tell you what, he was critical, and he popped her up and he said, I kind of like this one right here. But any of these previews that I do, I always say that the kids get on to me because I tell them which one I'm going to buy. I'm not going to buy this Hampshire gilt. We don't show Hampshire gilts, so I'm not interested. But if I was going to show a Hampshire gilt and I was going to go to San Antonio, I would buy them from Savage, and I'd probably buy this one right here. There again, they've won it the last 2 times. This gilt's chest, body, rib, and flexibility is very uncommon for the Hampshire side of things. Like I said, you usually think of Savage, or when you think of Savage, you think of the Hampshire deal. I know Donnie's really fond of the Dread ones, and they're doing an awesome job there. But I tell you what, Todd took me in the backside of that barn, and I saw a set of white-eared down ones, both Landrace and Chester, but particularly Landrace side, that would absolutely blow your mind there. And they were different. They were stout. They were short. They were boxy. They were big backed, and this half blood Landrace and I should clarify that half blood sired again. Boar at Wintex, awful name for a purebred boar, but the half blood sired purebred Landrace pig right here is. Savage, Wintex, half blood. I mean, we don't go there, but a very, very good big right here. Landrace offering from Savage. She's tag 9. The Hampshire's tag 59. Cameron.
Next set to come in will be HF Genetics, and again, Cassidy sent a pair of gilts last time that both went on and found the winner's circle in the Grand at Angelo and the Grand at Terry County. And as he was kicking through early in the week, he asked me, what do you think this time to bring? And I said, I did the same thing you did last year. And so he was kicking through, I know, again, getting ready for their farm sale this weekend and spending time and made a commitment to send the ones that he sent to these breed pigs. And so I'll just tell you the pedigrees and let Jason talk about them. Tag 4 is going to be the green tag gilt here that Camlin has. Again, that means green tag, lease only. She'd be an upward top hand bulletproof. Mother was champion multiple times there in the winter of 24 and 25. Her first litter went on and had the Went family's bear there that wins the Burke Points in Nebraska this summer, and that's tag 4, the green tag Berkshire gilt, lease only. That gilt last year that won Angelo, he also offered as a lease only. Tag 54 is going to be the orange tag Berkshire gilt, bid to own, pay half to lease out of Riz on a top hand bulletproof sow. Mother was dominant on the circuit, reserve OPB at Mercedes, and a cell maker at Texas Elite there for Emma Perez in 24 and 25. Cassidy says her grandmother, that tag 54, is the matriarch that they all go back to of their Berkshire program. And then tag 76, Spot the Ball, Titan Times Change, will be the spotted gilt. Grandma was Sequoia, the 2022 Reserve Supreme Texas Elite gilt. Mother's first litter here out of this gilt is out of that looks very, very promising, and I would certainly agree from this morning. So again, that's HF Genetics is 3. Tag 4 is the green tag. Tag 54 is the orange tag Burke, and tag 76 is the spot.
Well, I before they came in, I asked Scott. I remember Cassidy's Burke gilt that was in here last year, and she was very good, and I think she was pretty memorable for all of us that watched the preview last year. She brought plenty, but in February, deservingly so, because I think she ended up supreme overall gilt there at San Angelo last year. So the Burkes from Cassidy, I know Scott's had some. Quite a few people have had some. The Bears have fed, the gilts have fed, and they've got along incredibly well the last 3 or 4 years. Camlin's got lot 4. That is an upward, as Josh has said, the boar there at Evans. We'd had some of those at our house this time, and I really like those pigs. Obviously, what he had done last winter was very good. And then we've got the other 2 out here. The other Burke Gilt, I think, obviously that's one that's available for purchase. I think maybe got even some more extras than the other ones got. When you talk about bone and rib and body, just another nice Berkshire Gilt. Kelton's already talked about the spots and the spot the ball thing. I agree with him. We went up there and saw the boars at Laird's, one of the more impressive boars that you could see at that place. You don't have to talk about, breeds per se, but you just visually, one of the more impressive boars that you saw there. So 3 really nice gilts here that Cassidy brings us.
Next in will be Reed Livestock, and then one of my close friends there, and Dan and Reagan Reed are close friends. And again, brought a pair of gilts. Last year when we did this, Dan didn't have a set that was quite big enough to come, and came and sold a pick lot there of some of the litters there at the farm that went really well. And then this time he bumped up and he said, "I've got the pair I'm going to bring and come." And when I got to see him this morning for the first time, I was extremely excited. And so tag 11, we'll just talk about what they are. Tag 11 will be the wide-belted, white-back-legged one, and tag 60 is the off-belted one. Again, both orange tag, bid to own, pay half to lease gilts. And tag 11 there is a Hallelujah, which Hallelujah is the boar that we had here from Dan that's now at Premium Blend. And then his mom's a Here I Am French Kiss. So again, that French Kiss sow originated from Blunt's. As Dan said here, these are the first set of Hallelujahs. And then that French Kiss sow, that's the grandmother here, is also Hallelujah's grandmother. So you've got a chance here on the pedigree side to tie into that very tight sow line that comes back to the same as far as so much stuff that's come from Reed's, come from our place now, and from Blunt's there up the road. You can see it in that tag 11. Tag 60 is 4-8. Again, Let It Shine, new creation, One Truth. Again, Let It Shine's the mate to Caden's Reserve Hampshire Bear there at Houston this last time. That Let It Shine's just right over here in the boar barn. Another stud monkey son we've got here. Again, the One Truth grandma here is a mate to Let It Shine's mother as well as Hallelujah's mother. And Dan says he's excited about this one's potential in the ring and in the crate. Very, very good set of One Truth sows behind these.
Yeah, I think an awesome pair here from Reed, and great people that do things right, and continually bring year after year and set after set pigs that feed and pigs that work. Definitely, my kids have benefited because of it, and Josh's relationship with them, and how rich it is on both sides of it. On the pedigree side there, on the pigs there, if you start just reading and kind of dipping through things there, again, I know these are bid to own, half to lease. We get repetitive about that. We need to know the terms when we come in here, and at this particular time we always talk about show gilts, but when these two hit the ring, they look like they could be successful show gilts, but they just read sow to me in terms of body flexibility, joint quality, their footwork there, their proportions are right, their frame size and maturity pattern is absolutely perfect. If you're trying to enhance your sow herd or start a sow herd or whatever you're doing there, if you read the pedigree and then look at these gilts, I think you're missing the boat if you don't think they need to be incorporated there. So again, the chromed up one is tag 11. The off belted one is tag 60 here from Reed Livestock.
So we get into the next pair here as we get to the Duroc consignments here of the sale, and lot 15 and lot 63 here from Burger Farms. Again, these gilts are sired by Bedrock on a green bottle sow, and I'll just read their description here. 35-liter gilts will be full sieves of the second behind the Grand Duroc gilt at Texas Elite, and a Class 1 bear there at Angelo, and some sale-making bears there at San Antonio and Houston last time. Kobe and Cliff tell you the green bottle sow here would be the grandmother to the Champion Duroc gilt and the Reserve Duroc gilt at Texas Elite. They had this last time, and then the rest of their sale-making Duroc bears there in the spring earlier this year. So She's got 15. The slightly smaller one that Camlin has is tag 15. Kenley's got tag 63. And again, these guys in the red program is something. So a note here on this lot: we're going to sell 15 first. Bid to own, pay half to lease. If that gilt is purchased, then tag 63 becomes lease only. So if tag 15 is bought outright, then tag 63 is going to become lease only. If tag 15 is leased, then tag 63 will say the same: bid don't pay half to lease. So make that note if you're interested in these red gilts from Burgers.
Well, and I'd say justifiably so on Colby and Cliff's part, because their red program in the last few years has been very good. They had a very good run at San Antonio, a very good run at Texas Elite. They had a great set of reds at both those places, and not just those gilt shows. But as Josh alluded to, their red barrows have been very good over the last couple years. And Colby and Cliff, they dive in, and they don't necessarily go out and use the next most upcoming boar. They find a red boar that fits their program. I know they found those from Beanie. They found those from different spots, and every time they do it, they inject the right piece into their program. And I think you can see that here in what they've got. And these red pigs, obviously, they're not going to look like crosses early, but their build and elevation and comfort, I think, are very good in what they can do. And I just looking at those and looking at what they can do, I think they're on track to do exactly what they did last year in the gilt ring.
So we've had a couple of questions just to address it quickly, because I haven't yet. So obviously most of the gilts in the sale tonight are bid to own, pay half to lease, and you have that option. I've been asking, when do they have to be designated if you want to own them or lease them? At the time of purchase, if you're online, you'll have a chat box to select one way or the other. If you're in person, we'll ask you that. But yeah, we want to know if you're buying or leasing on these option gilts at the time of sale. So keep that note in your mind, and kind of have that in your mind as we're going along. On the option gilts, so we need to know right then if you're going to own or lease on those orange tag gilts. So next in will be another pair of those Cole Farms here in Troy Cole. First time consignor here to the Southwest Elite, and looks like we'll let him come back with the pair that he loaded up and brought this time, because I thought they were awfully neat this morning. Wider belted when they were going across the rings. Tag 18 will be his lead off. The chromed up gilt with kind of a white splash there on her left back hip be tag 66. Again, the wide belted one, tag 18 is an unstoppable pace car Shug. Never before. It says the pace car Sal's the mother of that reserve grand gilt that they had at the American Royal here last year. In 2025, the Shug Sal's one that they originated from Linder Show Pigs. There is Troy and the relationship they have there. So that's tag 18. Tag 66 would be a Relentless Woke Smoke Another. It says the Woke's mother's the first litter gilt. They're excited to get going and get rolling. Smoke Another sow, again, was purchased from the Linder crew and was 6th overall lightweight dark cross, the 2024 Texas Elite. Again, that's tag 18's the wide belted one, tag 66, the chromed up one from Cole Farms.
Well, I think a really interesting pair here, and Troy and the Cole Farms program here is obviously one that the last couple of years have been on an absolute tear, and just do such an awesome job. It's always fun to watch kind of where things start and where things are going, progress, and they've done things in a fast forward motion, and it doesn't matter what show or where you're at, but whether it be barrow or gilt, Troy and his crew is very, very tough to get around. These two gilts, I'll be real honest with you and transparent, they don't look exactly the same in terms of build, and I think this is where you could probably say pick the kind that you like. That unstoppable gilt there, obviously that's the Goss boar there at PBG there. That boar's doing a great job, and that gilt there, there's not going to be one sold tonight or any time in the summer or fall that's any stouter, chubbier, boxier, rounder bodied, and still yet so comfortable. The other gilt's just a little more immature in her look. That tag 66, I love her elevation up front, her squareness as she leaves you. Both of these grandmothers were purchased from Lidner, and then Troy went on and bred up from there and goes. The Relentless deal's been absolutely phenomenal there. If they look good little, they seem like they feed and work really, really good. Again, tag 18 is that chromed up one, extra stout one there that Kenley's driving there, and then tag 66 I guess is the little bit more traditional belted one.
Next in will be MT Hart, and again Murdoch and crew there. It brought it a very fun set last time, and did I think over the top here this time. I didn't know that he could bring a landrace gilt or set of pigs that I liked more than the ones he did last year, and I'll have to just say I was wrong on that. So he'll lead off tonight with the Landy gilt there. That's tag 14. Pay your bills, sober up, happy hour. Again, Mom was the champion Landy gilt there at San Antonio and this last spring, and the Texas Elite, and then Mom's littermate sister be the mother of the champion landrace bear at San Antonio this year. Grandma had Pay Your Bills, and then the $11,000 gilt here last year as well. $10,000 mate there at Linder's Farm Sale that went on that Kane showed and won his class there at Denver that our crew got to handle there. That's the landrace gilt. There's not enough winning in that pedigree for you. And then tag 62 is the white crossbred up-eared gilt that's out here. Magic Show, Another Time, Let the Beat Build, Wham. Matt says the heart of our white program, getting literally the best of every white generation we have. Mom's a mate to the champion light cross gilt there at the Elite in 25. 3 of the Mom's mate brothers make the sale at Houston that year. The Let the Beat Build Grandma's the $27,000 high-selling gilt at the Texas Elite in 24. Brother to that one makes the class winner at Austin. Finally, the Wham Great Grandma's the foundation white female for them that they brought from F2 for $8,000 a few years back. As he concludes that every white female in their place goes back to the mother of this white gilt.
You know, the thing that I think, I don't even know if we've mentioned this yet tonight, but I know that I've seen a Poland. I know that I've seen a Spot. I know that I've seen a Duroc, and now I've seen a Landrace that I would say should be in the hunt there in February. Don't forget about those scholarships at San Antonio. Those $10,000 scholarships, they're hard to come by. I mean, we try to get them the bear ring, we try to get them the gilt ring, but they're very hard to come by. And the thing about this gilt is she could show at San Antonio, she could win a breed, she could even go on from there, but she could still go and show at Texas Elite the following week. But that's a very good land race with a very neat presence, an awesome hind leg, and still good shape and good build and good texture to her muscle, certainly for that breed. The white gilt is awfully good as well. I know Matt had a gilt that won the light crosses there at Texas Elite a couple years ago. That was awfully good. A smaller kind of a gilt there. This gilt has got some big pieces, and I talked about that. And you got the opportunity here to bid to own, pay half to lease, and once again, you can tie into lots of programs tonight. And these guys that are allowing you to pay the hammer to buy these gilts. If you're sitting here looking for sows or looking for an investment, I think there's a lot of programs here that have put in the hard work and the time to put these gilts together, and that's certainly one that I would look up. Once again, a gilt that you could show as a light cross. You could try to make Yorkshires in the state of Texas. They're hard to find. They're hard to put together. I think a very nice set here from Matt.
Next in as we jump back into some belted ones, here will be Jason's Lackey Livestock and Jason and Jackie and Weston and Grant. And these first 3 to come out will be lot 2, lot 48, and lot 49. And I'll let Jason. He'll talk about the pedigrees a whole lot better than I will. But again, just getting to see these gilts a little bit this morning was awfully fun there. And I know Jason's been excited about some of them here, so he can tell you what they are.
Well, I'll tell you, the gilt there that Weston's on, that was one that we were pretty proud to bring. There's a pair of those 29s. That gilt and her dumber, skinnier sister are coming in the next spin. But that was a good litter of pigs, and we sold one there in our farm sale. I actually kept one back for Grant. Those are Nightmares, heavy hitters. The gilt that Camlin's got there is a 25 litter. That's a hotbed. And then the gilt on the far side is where's my notes? I got the wrong notes. Oh, you've got them. Is a 38-3. That's an out for blood. Or I'm sorry, a power hour out for blood unashamed. So the first ones we've got, Weston's got the 29 litter, Camlin's got the 25, and then the 38 there on the far side. The one that Kinley's on there in the middle is a 51 litter. That's a nightcap, which nightcap's a litter mate to Dog Eat Dog, boar that we've got there at our house. Her mom's a Glory Days, and then the skinnier gilt that Weston's got's a 29 litter. That's another Nightmares heavy hitter.
You notice.
Well, obviously Jason was sitting here and helped organize the sale and to go and to bring 5 females here, I think is a rarity for the Lackey Livestock crew. But what isn't is I looked down at the sheet. There was no description. It says hammer price to own. And the thing about Lackey's deal, and particularly Jason, things are black and white, and they are what they are. And he brought the gilts to sell because he does believe in them. He wants them to work. He wants their customers to go on and win and to go. And obviously the pedigrees are really, really good. I know he does the previews. He goes through the sales and obviously hosts quite a few of them. But all the fluff and all the preview antics and all the things that they said, that's not his style. These gilts are good. They're bred good. Nightmares sold here. He went back and used them. Brought a pair of litter mates here. Nightcap again. He says litter mate to Dog Eat Dog, like that's the identity that he needs. If you were going to go through there and if you gave points like Certified Texas Bred did on all your classes and goes and Nightcap would be real high in terms of the maybe Premier Sire last year in terms of sale makers, class winners, division winners, and to go there. Obviously has boars and boar studs across the country, and a couple of them that are real popular. So again, great genetics, awesome operation that you're able to dip into. You're able to own them, make them show gilts, make them sows there. Really good pair here, and a good 5 of them that Lackey Livestock consigned.
Thank you, Jason. Next in be Fontenot Farms and John and JoJo there from Louisiana. And lot 10, 27-2. This gilt's a made for more, My Intentions. The mother here would have raised the Reserve Barra and the Reserve Louisiana bred overall there at LSU a couple times back. She's also a litter mate to the mother of Gassed Up and Left Behind. And again, made for more is the woke son there that we kept here this last time that we sold the Southern Gold after the spring breeding season. And when John and Cody made the trip over, I knew that was one of the ones that they dug into and that we liked a bunch, and we're happy to see what they thought about them. And then obviously My Intention sow there that's kind of paved her way on the bottom side. And so I really appreciate the gilt that they brought and the male pig that you'll see here in just a little bit from the Fontenot crew. Always, John doesn't come unless he's got something he's proud of, and I would say he's got something he's proud of here.
Yeah, I think the little gilt here really exemplifies what Fontenot tends to bring and tends to do. I always say it there. John, JoJo, the Fontenot Farms brand liked bone and liked stout pigs before it was cool, and that's bred in them. They're going to be that way. This gilt is that way, and yet this gilt, in terms of the way her hip is set, where her tail's set on her body, the bend that she has to her rear leg, and the ability to not just be comfortable but actually drive with some authoritative step off of that rear leg. She is awesome in that regard, and when their skeleton is built right, that's when they tend to balance the best. And from the side, she is awesome. She's thick-armed when she comes at you. Again, John never brings just a whole bunch of them to the sales. I know that he's proud of them. I'd say he's going to be real proud of this, or he is real proud of this gilt, and he's going to be real proud of this barrow whenever he comes in. He's one of the few pigs I saw in the back of the barn, and he went and followed him back to the pen. So again, always enjoy visiting with the Fontenot crew. John came and I think brought a really good pair here. This is tag 10 that is the gilt entry.
Next in is going to be Blunt Farms, and they've got 2 gilt lots, 1 live and 1 pick. We'll talk about the pick here in just a second. The gilt in the ring's lot 5. Again, back to another orange tag, bid to own, pay half release. This gilt's out of Unbuckled, and then out of an I'm Here, French Kiss sow, and anybody that knows our family even a little bit knows how much this firm has been great to us and just our personal kids especially. It's been so much fun, and as I sit here and just read read the notes that Zach and Glenn put behind this litter. The mother here is a litter mate to that champion light cross gilt they had at Kansas City there at the American Royal in 2024. That French Kiss Grandma is the mother of the Supreme Gilt and the Reserve Light Cross Gilt, both there at the Texas Elite in 2024, and also the grandma of Camlin's Blue Bear there that won the Blues here in the Bear Show at San Antonio this last spring. If you're wondering what I'm here is, it was out of one of those 6-litter snafu sows, and if you're familiar at all with the Blunt firm, you know those 6-litter sows are a keynote to their program. They've made the Reserve Bear there for Kai in 23 at Houston, Camlin's Grand Bear at Fort Worth there in 24, Champion Hamp at the Arkansas State Fair in 23. I can say all that to say as they did here. The foundation of their herd lies behind this female, and one that they don't like to sell gilts a whole bunch. And I think in this one that we've got live, and then we'll talk about the pick after we talk about the gilt, I think you've got an opportunity to get something very, very special.
There's not much to say here. I talked about Josh and Carrie and the Brockman firm earlier. When you talk about this sale and being here and their influence on basically 80-90% of the pedigrees that we've got in this barn, I would say Glenn's pretty close. On what his influence is on what he's done. You look at the stud monkey thing across the country and what it's done. You look at the successes that Josh and Kelton and Kerry and then Caden and Camlin have had with Glenn's pigs over the last few years. I mean, the guy is just a very good hog guy. They're not going to bring one out that they don't trust either to breed on or to go and win a show, and I think that's what they brought here. The Gilt's got an unbelievable presence, a stout head, but still an awesome hind leg and a big hind leg. I would say just dig into the program. Very good offering here from the Blunt firm.
So while we're still studying Lot 5 here, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about Lot 55 that will sell tonight. There's not if you go looking for tag 55 in the back, she's not going to be there. Lot 55 tonight's going to be the pick of the litter. These 9 litters from Blunt's, and you can jump online, and I think they put a picture up there of that litter on the sow. And I'll just tell you about what the Lot 55 is going to be. You're going to have the pick of the gilts sired by Diablo out of Monkey Business's mother. So again, pick of the gilt, sired by Diablo out of Monkey Business's mother. So she had 9 gilts. They felt this was the way to offer a selection out of one of their very best females. She's Stud Monkey and Fear Not's aunt. She's a litter mate to the Grand Bear there that Camlin had at Fort Worth in 24. Their comments, they say they went to see Diablo in person and he blew us away. We had to put him in this sow. It's one of the wildest and stoutest litters in terms of bone and density that we've had. Good luck picking one because it's deep and uniform. They say they're in love. The whole litter is Hampshire or Belted or Black Cross. Only one of the 11, and the whole litter is solid black. You must make your pick by September 16th. So again, Lot 55 tonight is going to be the pick of the litter of Diablo's. Of the gilts of Diablos out of Monkey Business's mother. If you don't know who Monkey Business is, he just sired the $400,000 board there at the opener. He was the pig that Glenn and Zach sold here for $50,000 last year that 66 crew bought. I can tell you that they're probably a little bit nervous offering something like this, but Zach's here, Glenn's here. They would, I know, love to visit with you about that litter. So again, Lot 55 is a very unique opportunity in my mind. Jason and Kelton have talked about the vast spread of Stud Monkey and the Blunt firm, and that's tying into the heart of it right there in Lot 55 tonight. So that'll be, again, pick of the litter. There's not a gilt back there. Visit with those guys about that litter if you're interested in Lot 55. Next in, we'll have Byers Farms and Todd and Zane come down here to the great humidity of Montgomery and spent the day with us and yesterday with us, and we're so thankful that they made the trip from West Texas. Lot 6 is going to be the Chester Gilt. She's a lease-only green tag option, slip and slide, big screen, perfect fit. Out of Blue Collar's mom. Todd said, I told Mariah when this one was in the nursery, we had one good enough for the kids to show to win at San Antonio, and then for some reason, she's here. That's Lot 6 in the Chester Gilt. Lot 56, the belted one, is orange tag again, bid to own, pay half to lease, stranglehold, absolute crickets. That's a full sib to the champion Blue Bear at Angelo last year for the Price family. Obviously, power in the blood there in Lot 56. So again, Byers Farms, tag 6 is the Chester, tag 56 is the belted one.
Well, it doesn't surprise me at all that the Chester Gilt's not for sale when they come with this kind of quality there at Todd and Mariah's and the Byers Farms crew there, and not to say that the other ones that are offering the lease option don't offer the same quality. I just know Todd and Mariah good enough; they're not selling this Gilt, and she's coming back, but they want the customers to get along and things to go. Their kids are obviously incredible in the show ring. Their success level in any one arena in that Chester side of things there is absolutely unmatched, and this is one of those times and one of those females here that if I was going to show a Chester Gilt, I'd absolutely hate to have to show against this one here, and it gets that simple. Awesome female there. The crossbred is obviously just a shot behind her, size, weight, and there, but the proof's in the pudding. Obviously, the full sib to the champion blue there at Angelo. Thought had a really good shot there in the Grand Drive scenario of things, and might have been one of the stoutest, hairiest pigs that showed last year. To be real honest with you, this Gilt I think has got a great future there. Again, always good to see Byers in the ring. Phenomenal Chester Gilt in tag 6. Really good one from a proven pedigree there in tag 56 is the belt.
Lincoln Hart and Hart Show Pigs will be next. Tag 16 is going to be the belted one. Tag 64 will be the white one. Again, tag 16 is the belted one. Take the lead, buckle up. Tag 64 is the white one. Great white, heavy hitter. Lincoln gave me a lot of notes and descriptions on anything further than that genetically, but I could tell you seeing these pigs and just having Lincoln as one of my good buddies, I know he enjoys and tries as hard as anybody in this deal as he continues to build his sow herd on the belted deal, and especially his fascination with the white pure and white crossbred program. He sold Heart Attack here in the ring in our fall sale last year for $27,000 that Thwaites and Upper Hand bought, and I thought this was a very neat pair this morning. I'll let Jason tell you what his thoughts are seeing them here. But again, tag 16 is the belted one. She's going to be a bid to own, hammer price to own. Tag 64 is the white one with your option to bid to own or pay half to lease.
So, Lincoln, I'm assuming the heavy hitter bottom side of that goes back to those Yorks at Dallas. Yeah, champion. Yeah, no one cares. They were good. Anyway, I think it was 2 years ago at Dallas. Lincoln had a very good set of Yorkshires there. I found him in the stands and asked him what they were, and they were heavy hitters. Right, Lincoln? They were heavy hitters. No, anyway, no one cares. Lincoln had a very good set of Yorks there at Dallas 2 years ago, and the lineage is similar on the bottom side of this one is what this Gilt is. But I could get redundant in saying this, and as you read this, bid to own, pay half to lease. This is one that I'd say if you're serious about raising pigs, and if you're serious about making white pigs better, this one could get you a long ways. You talk about substance, stoutness of skull, skeleton, but still everything reading loose on both ends of her skeleton. That's a very good kind of a white pig that Lincoln brings here tonight. And then the belted one, take the lead, buckle up. I believe take the lead is the hog that's there at Canals. Buckle up on the bottom side, so just a little extra shot of substance there. Lincoln brings us in a couple very nice Gilts here tonight.
Next in will be Cud Farms and Brad and Hunter and JR and the whole crew there from Brownfield. Again, a firm that's invested the time and the finances and the influence there to rise very quickly in the show pig world and brought you 15-3. This Gilt sired by Sledge there that Jason could speak more on than I could, out of a young Daylight sow there, and that sow had Roxton Stone's reserve hamp there at Angelo last time that Brad and them kind of gets them off and into the ring of having a Texas major banner under their belt as far as pigs they raised. They bring you a Gilt that I know pains him to go ahead and offer up for the option to sell. That's out of that same sow this time. So thanks to Brad for this lot 13.
Well, with just one entry here from Cut Farms and another operation and family that's are doing things in a fast-forward motion, as you would expect if you know those guys. And you come in here with one gilt that I think looks like she's got an incredible future in her. Bred extremely, extremely good there. The sledge bore that Jason has at his place, at a mate to Weston's barrow there that won Dallas, that Roger Lacey raised, and obviously a firm that's just been on a tear there for sure. But I was able to see that board just a few weeks ago, and I absolutely loved him. To be real honest with you, kind of in my new venture there on the Boar Stud website, I've had more than one person ask me what I thought a boar that needed to be used more, that maybe underutilized, and sledge is always the first one that I tell them. You talk about foot, bone, cleanliness of joints, joint quality, flexibility, true squareness of build, and the right kind of maturity pattern, and tying that with a stout skull. That's how I would term that boar, and this gilt looks the same. And our maturity pattern is the same. I can tell you what, this gilt's going to feed. She's going to work. Obviously, that Daylight sow already proved herself, and Daylight's feed too. The show pig world's not predictable, but I'm going to say that this gilt feeds. She turns out, if there was going to lay my money on one, this Cut Farms entry would definitely be one in tag 13.
Next up, I'll be Reeves and Smythe Genetics as we step back in to some more papered gilts here and a pair of Polands. And if you know anything about this crew on this firm and their love and success in this breed has been really fun. I was again happy to see. This is what Cole elected to bring, and you talk about lot 17 and lot 65. Lot 17 is going to be the smaller Poland gilt out in the ring that Camlin has. Two-step mongoose. It says mom here's a mate to two different gilts that won banners at Texas Majors in 25. The sire here's a step ahead son that they've got there at the farm on both of these gilts. Again, lot 17 being the smaller 57-liter gilt. Lot 65, 49-4s, again, sired by that same step ahead son. They call two-step there at the house. And then out of a mongoose sow, it says here mother was the champion there at the state fair at the Pan Am show in 25. Grandma was the reserve at Fort Worth in 24. Great grandma was the $17,000 baby pig purchase from Beeman that herself was grand at Fort Worth, reserve at San Antonio, grand at Angelo all in 22. He's going to keep going. The great-grandmother also raised the champion there at San Antonio in 23. So you've got 22, 3, 4, and 5, a long line of histories of females here that just flat win, and that big gilt's pedigree in tag 65. So again, small one tag 17, big one tag 65 from Reeves and Smythe.
Well, I know that Cole and Melissa take this breed very seriously, and from everything that Josh just said, I think you can understand that very quickly and know what time and effort that they put into making this breed better. And you watch them in the spring, and I would tell you that you sit here and watch these crosses tonight and say that the Polands and the Chesters and they don't look like the crosses. Well, they're not supposed to. These gilts look like they've got some upside in them. They look like they'll grow, and they look like that they're going to be good when it matters. And if you can just pay attention to the lineage and what all this sow line has done for Cole and the Reeves family, they've done a very good job. And I can promise you that he wouldn't have brought them here if he didn't think they were going to feed. I think two that look very high quality gilts, two that look like they'll stay immature, they'll stay right, and they'll look like they'll be very good big ones later on. I would hit Cole up in the back and ask him about the sow family on these gilts, but I think once again, bid to own, pay half to lease out of very good sow families there from the Reeves family.
Next it'll be BST Farms and Travis Blattner here to round out our gilt preview before we get to the mail round. And this lot 19 is a slip and slide Crown Prince custom-made Chester gilt here. Big league Chester gilt female with a proven pedigree. The Crown Prince sows a litter mate to the reserve Chester bear there at Dallas in 25. It says his grandma's the matriarch Chester sow that's previous litter before raised the Triple Crown winner that won the Chester Gilts at Fort Worth, San Antonio, and San Angelo, all three. It says 8-3 is one they've got a great deal of confidence in, and come February you could show her and then take her and put her in your sow herd after the fact. Again, BST Farms here, another young firm that's put a lot of time, effort, and finances into building multiple breeds here, and Tag 19 is one of them here in this slip and slide Chester Gilt.
Yeah, we definitely know that Travis has put a lot of focus and effort on the female side of things there, and to be able to offer a Chester Gilt that looks like this, I think is definitely a testament and commitment to this sale. I don't know how many breeds we saw. I should have kept up with it there as we went through there. I'd say most of the breeds that are going to show and there this winter. And as Jason said, too many times we don't put enough effort, or I guess not effort, but I guess focus and the emphasis on those scholarships that are provided. My family and my focus, it's no secret, has always been the Barrow Ring. Will probably always be the Barrow Ring. But really, if you're going to kind of regroup and go, this Gilt deal kind of makes more sense there. And yet at the same time, those scholarships are hard to come by. We saw a lot of females. This is not blowing smoke. There are a lot of females that I think will come back with a big banner, come Texas Elite, come San Antonio, even have more stretch there in the winter side. And this Chester Gilt's the same way. You talk about a big chested, big rolled up back, a big end, and yet still a comfortable skeleton. She's up off the ground. She's got enough length of body to make a big one. And a breed to be not offensive has been kind of struggling a little bit here lately. I think this Gilt's really, really good. So again, out of slip and slide, awesome Gilt. I think this is the last of the females of the preview. We'll move into the male offering, but a great way to end. Same as we started. This is tag 19 from BST.
So as we take just a second here and kind of reset, just a reminder on the Gilt deal. So obviously 3 options. If you've got any questions on the tags or tag numbers or how that's going to be, blue to buy outright, orange with the option, we're going to need to know that quickly. And any questions you've got on any of that, we'll go. So last year we did something just a little bit unusual, and at the last minute, Gary and I decided to include that few boy pigs there. And so after the dust settled, we decided to go ahead and put a full round of ours and invite everyone to come there. And so we'll go ahead and jump into what I think is a very, very special set of male pigs here as we get into this first pen. So if y'all want to go ahead and we'll again start with ours. We're going to kick these first ones out, and we'll go ahead and get started here with tag 31 and tag 32. Camlin's got the painted up one there is tag 31, 45-2, and then tag 32 is kind of the one with the belt that wraps around the middle of his body. So these will be the first of our male consignments. Again, tag 31 that Camlin has is a worldwide buckle up. That's South Set Apart's sister. Set Apart was one of the buckle up sons we sent there or sold there to PBG just a couple of times ago, and then goes back to the same grandmother there as Albus's Reserve at Houston this last time there in the Barris show, and then Best Behavior there at Purple Power. Again, that's the one Camlin has, tag 31, 45-2. And then Kinley's got the one with the belt around the middle of his body. It's 48-2, Stand Firm, Wild Side. Again, that's one of our earliest Stand Firm litters. We sold a couple of those mates in our online sale there a couple of weeks ago. This one was smaller, wasn't ready for that online sale. Kind of slated him just right in for this group pretty easily there. I thought that was one of the funnest litters there. Most of them were ready before this deal. But again, that's tag 32, 48-2, Stand Firm, Wild Side.
Well, a great way to start our mail offering here. And, the funny thing about this time of year is that we've been selling pigs for almost 3 weeks now. And so we get into the first part of August, and everybody thinks every pig that they look at is a Houston, right? Everybody already thinks all the Fort Worth and Denvers are gone. We've got Denver pigs in this ring. We've got Fort Worth pigs in this ring. We got San Antonio pigs in this ring. So there's going to be some pigs with some size in here. And these hogs look like they've got elevation, they've got immaturity, they've got the skeleton to continue to go. And if this is what I got here a little late, I didn't see the early preview. So I'm seeing these pigs at the same time you are. So I'm anxious to see them all come out. But I can tell you a very good pair that Josh brings out initially first. The one that Camlin brings out obviously hit me pretty good as soon as that hog comes out. Stout skull, big chest, an awesome skeleton kind of a pig. And both these hogs I think have got a very, very high potential. Nice pair of male pigs that Josh brings out first.
This next one that's going to come out, next one out is lot 28 and 47-3. Again, this one's another stud monkey, and one of the few direct stud monkeys we had in our first set out of a young wild side sow. And I kind of put it in the notes. I guess I didn't even put online, but I remember when I mated this sow. She's a wild side, quite frankly, Next Intention's mother, and it just kind of made sense. Nightmare's mom's a wild side, and those sows last time in that first group out of stud monkey, it just worked and clicked, and we got into that first group. It's the first litter Gilt that this pig's mom is, and I just thought it made sense. That's what I did. So again, you can see him and think about him what you want to, but this is tag 28, 47-3, stud monkey wild side from us.
Well, here I think we got one here that Josh believes in. He believes in the pedigree, and great breeders know what pedigrees click and match and work, and you kind of can close your eyes and do so in a repetitive manner. And again, like you say, stud monkey wild side tends to work. I've said it multiple times. I know Camlin probably likes stud monkey as good as any pig ever. Whenever that one was a baby, and as he can continue to grow, and I'd always go there. But for his sire, as it goes through, currently he's one of my absolute favorites, and like I said, I've said so many times, if you like them now, they're going to be good when they get big, and this pig has the pattern to be there. Signature Brockman look, immature green. If you want to look like a hero, I'd say put this one on feed there. I would assume he's going to be popular, but I love this pig right here in tag 28.
This next pair in will be a pair of 42s, tag 21 and tag 27. If your sales sheet says tag 27 is 43-4, I think we got that fixed before we printed it, but he is 42-4. That'd be the white back-legged one. Camlin's got tag 21, be 42-3. He's kind of the off-belted or broken belted one again. These are littermate brothers. Out of Gratitude, another stud monkey son there we laid in last time. That one of the deepest litters we had last summer were the 42s. Kinley showed one at Fort Worth. I'm not saying any of them were perfect. Cud showed one at Fort Worth, but they were very unique and had the big parts and pieces, and as does the sire of these 242 that are bears in Gratitude. First litter Gilt here. This is their mom's a buckle up sow. She'd be buckle up in the woods, Major League's mom. We moved these over last week, and I was extremely excited about this pair of 42 litters. Again, Camlin's got the off belted one, tag 21. Kinley's got the more belted one, white back legged one, tag 27. 42 litter Gratitude, buckle up.
Well, this will likely get redundant as we keep going through Josh's set, but I think just an awfully good set of pigs. The one that Camlin brings out is got just those extras to me. Moderation, but still the proportions are very correct in that pig. To have a rear leg that big and a rear leg that works that well, but to still have that extension and elevation through his neck and the way that it ties into his shoulder, I think are awfully good. That's an awfully good pig there. Then one, I think that, you talk about mass and dimension up high and still with that kind of hip and hind leg, and the one that Kinley's driving, I think an awfully nice pair of pigs out here. Another great set here from Josh.
The next pair we'll have in is tag 24 and tag 29. Tag 24 is going to be the more traditionally marked, Hampshire marked one, and 46-5 that Camlin's got there. He's a dog-eat-dog, tricked out 4. Again, I made the comment about his sister earlier. That sow's a mate to Kendall Shackelford's bear that won the last class at Houston there a couple of times ago in the other crosses. Her first litter was out of Wild Intentions. We would have sold in our winter open house this last time. He was in October. That litter was probably highlighted by the pig that Geyer and them bought, and then kept intact and sold in the draft here this summer for $20,000 at Crossroads. They call off script there, and so that's again dog eat dog, tricked out 4 is the one that Camlin has in tag 24. Tag 29 that Madison has is 43-1. Again, that's we saw some of those sisters earlier. One of his sisters is lot 1 in the sale. In the fire, quite frankly. Again, those 10-liter sows behind this one are quickly becoming a high influence for us. His mom's 10-5, had the 5th out dark cross there at Summer Type just a few weeks ago. 10-6, his sister had Mulestein's Bear that was reserve hamp at San Antonio this last time. I think there's a lot of faith that can be had on the bottom side of if either one of these pedigrees. But again, Cameron's got tagged 24, 46-5. Madison's got tagged 29, 43-1.
You know, I think one the thing in terms of emphasis that happens here at Brockman, they're going to leave no stone unturned to make sure they have the stoutest ones. I mean, the rear leg size and stoutness and burliness is always going to be there. And Dog Eat Dog probably consistently as a sires them as stout as any of them. So that pedigree to me reads as ones that are going to be stout and burly and be very, very good there at the end. This one right here, if you just read pedigree, almost reads more immature, and one of those that I think is better days are to go on the one that that Camlin's have, the belted one that would classify Hampshire. The other one there, we said on his littermate sister that leads off the sale, the in the fires are going to be just different. They're going to be different about their look. They're going to be different about their bone column. They're going to have that uniqueness that allows them to capture the great big banner in the winter and separate themselves at the biggest stages there. And I'm confident of that from the few in the fires that I've seen. I think this male pig here, with that one being their sire, and then reading that the pedigree on the bottom side and what those 10-liter sows have done, I think this is one of those that you've definitely got to have high on your list. That one's tagged 29. Camley drives the Hampshire marked one in tag 24.
This next pair in will be tag 22, will be the black-legged one. Tag 30 will be the solid black one. We'll just talk them in that order. Tag 22, the black-legged belted one here is another Nightmares out of another, quite frankly, sow. So we just talked about those 10-liter sows on the 43s in 10-5. This 37's out of 10-6. Would have sold one of those last weekend at night sale that brought 5,000 that the Underdog crew purchased. And again, that's the direct same sow as Mulestein's Bear that was reserve hamp there at San Antonio last time, and then the Gilt that Scott and Dallas there showed a little last winter that we've got bred now and are really excited to have. So again, 37-4 is the one Kinley has. Nightmares, quite frankly, and then the little black one is 36-5, tag 30. That's another stand firm, buckle up. We offered a set of those Gilts in that online sale a few weeks ago that were very well received. Obviously, this pig is much smaller than they were. He was in the pen, and I thought fit right in with the rest of his pen mates here as we brought him over. And again, that's the little black one in lot 30, 36-5. Black-legged one is lot 22, 37-4.
Another nice pair of pigs here, and I alluded to this earlier that the big pigs aren't gone, and the one that Kinley's got in the middle, I think, is one that obviously has got some ability to grow and get big, and yet, I think, we look at pigs at this stage of their life, and some of them just run out of their cute stage maybe just a little bit, but this pig has still got everything that you need just to get there. His elevation, his looseness of skeleton, his shape up high, and his look from the side, I think are all very good. I honestly laughed when the black pig came in here because last year Nightmares came in here with a solid black pig, and I ignored the solid black pig. I didn't even say anything about him. But another very nice one at the end. His window is large. I think Josh and Kelton would probably agree with that. That pig could probably show as long as he needs to. Two different kinds of pigs in here. I think one you could show early, one you could show late, but incredibly high quality.
Next pair in here will be a pair of 40 litters, 40-2 and 40-3. The more belted one's going to be tag 23. The kind of broken belted, off belted one when they come out is tag 26. They have not been the smartest pair of pigs that we've moved over here, but these are some, again, the first hallelujahs. And these 40s, it's like they keep coming and coming as we get through. We had some in the online sale, and this pair they came out of the nursery, I think, in the set that we moved out after we finished that online sale, and you can tell that in the way they act. But I think these are what the Hallelujah pigs are going to be known for and look like, just in terms of their practicality and their body shape and their bone work. I think everything reads immature and how it is, and I'll let Kelton talk about that a little bit more. But they're out of 62-8 on the bottom side, which is a Here I Am on Made Alive's mother. She is one of very many 62-litter sows that have been really, really good for us for a few years now. This sow actually had the 40s last time as well, so that went on and fed really well. So again, Madison's got the off-belted one, tag 26 on the mud. The belted one that I really like is down there in the corner, and sometimes that happens, but that'd be tag 23. Again, these are 40s. Hallelujah. Here I Am, Made Alive's mom.
Well, obviously, it's neat whenever you're able to see multiples in a particular litter, and this 40 litter is one of those that you don't get live sales that you're able to get multiple pigs in and be highlights very often in this show pig deal, and particularly the crossbred side of things there. And it's not because these were the only ones you had to pick from; these are the ones that were able to get there, and they do look like that. Like Josh said, they're practical. We don't like to use the words practical, complete, and safe, and yet at the same time we all wish that we had pigs that were built like this, that they still have a unique look and attractive shape about their skull and their jawline. I probably put more stake on how pigs handle themselves in the pen and at the feeder as much as anything, particularly studying skeleton. Both of these pigs were standing there squared up. Weight was evenly distributed on all fours there. This belted one, if you study where the top of his blade comes up, where he ties in his loin edge to the back of his shoulder, how consistent he is there and how square built. I still call him green and immature as you get in behind him, but that is a very genuine pig. And again, just going across the pins there, I thought he was one of those that looked like the feeding type. His off-belted mate looks the same way there. This is an awesome litter. Whenever you kind of work through problems that we always face there in the show pig world, these are ones that you're going to be very proud to have on feed. Again, tag 23 and 26.
And I didn't say it as we went, but none of ours are castrated. Some are crips and that. And it should be noted that belted one there, he doesn't have anything showing, but he is a double crip. Just FYI on that tag, whatever he was, 40-2. So this will be our last pair of boy pigs here in tag 20 and tag 25, and Cameron's coming with tag 20, and we'll just talk about him first. It was fun to do this last year and kind of at the last minute incorporate something. This 44-2 that Cameron has in tag 20 is a Nightmares Revival. Here I Am, Kingpin Next Mom. We talked about his sisters in that litter earlier. I'll just be straight up and forward with everybody. This was the boar that I'd kept out of this set. He was my favorite pig in this set, and Carrie and I talked last week, and I was moving the rest of the sale set over here, and I said, what do you think? What do you want to do? And we put him on the crate and brought him, and so here he is. If you buy him, you have the right to cut him. But that is, I think, a very, very neat pig, and I'll see what these guys think and see about him. But he does a lot of the things that we're attempting to do, and he does a lot of the things I expected his dad to generate and do. And so that's tag 20 that Camlin has, the belted one, 44-2. Tag 25 is out here with him, 46-5. That's, again, another one of those dog-eat-dog out of that young Trick 4 sow that we really like. I think that's been a very deep litter. This will kind of conclude our consignment. And again, tag 20 Cameron has, tag 25 is the smaller one that Kinley has.
Well, I'll just say this: what a program these guys have, and what a set that they put together. And you can look around this room and look at what they've done the last 3 or 4 years, and not just the Bears that have won in Texas. Their influence across our country and the influence in our industry has been remarkable. And Josh brings another one out. For some reason, I get to grab the mic every time I get to make fun of Josh. I'm not sure why that is. I got to do it last year. I got to do it again. This pig's good. I don't know what his endpoint is tonight. I don't know if he stays intact. I don't know what's going to happen with that pig. His immaturity, his looseness of skeleton, the size of his bone column, but yet his cleanliness of joints are all very good. For a pig to have that kind of immaturity, but still have that kind of looseness of skeleton, but read immature enough in his body and his rib cage for him to look like he's going to elevate and get big, that's a hard thing to put together. I don't know where you want to go with that pig. I don't know if he's a Fort Worth or San Antonio. I'm assuming he's probably not going to be either one, if I were guessing. That's a very, very good pig that Cameron's got. The one on the far side, the dog-eat-dog, another very good pig. Honestly, this pig, Kelton's alluded to the dog-eat-dog thing a couple of times, and that pig looks like his pedigree, if I were to say that. Just incredibly big in his rib cage. His pin set is awesome. The set to his hind leg when he goes directly away is incredibly good. That pig is stout-headed, big arm, great-chested. That's a great pair to end on here from Josh and Carrie. Great set that they offered us here tonight.
Next in will be Albus show pigs, and so as we progress through the rest of the mail round, they'll all be singles. And we invited every consigner to the option to bring a male pig, and so this will be the first one we talk about in lot 37 from the Albus family and Albus show pigs. And I got to see this pig a couple of times. I've been in West Texas the last 2 weeks/weekends, and got to see this pig, and he's continued to impress me and get better. The first time out, I told him, I said that could be definitely your Southwest Elite pig if he kind of grows and gets big enough and does what he needs to. And then when I got to see him when I was out at Cameron's last weekend, it was a no-brainer to give the nod from my side anyways. He's a Let It Shine, Wild Intentions. Again, that's a sow that they purchased from us. Again, I could say all of the things. If you want to go tour in Morton, Texas, you can see a piece of my sow herd and a piece of my heart because there's a lot of it there. The Let It Shine thing on the top side, again, those One True sows from Reed have done incredible things for a lot of people and will continue to. This is tag 37 from Albus Show Pigs.
I really I like Mason's pig here that he brings, and that's it's such an awesome family to watch, and the dynamics that they offer, and to come and to kind of see things come together and what they've been able to do just the last couple show seasons and this sale season off to a big time start. And this bear right here, this is one stout show pig right here. He is stout between his eyes. He's stout about his blade. He's thick in his arm. Looks like a man when he comes at you. And I don't care where you're showing and who is judging, that one catches a pin and gets boomeranged right back towards the top end because he is so stout, he is so dense, and yet that is a loose, comfortable skeleton. Everything blends and matches perfectly right here. His maturity pattern reads as one of those that you could show early because I think he's one of those that you could do that to. But if you want to hold on things and kind of pace yourself just a little bit, he offers that as well. There's there's always the guesswork. There's always things that could go, but this pig right here looks like he gets along any show ring, anywhere you go, and yet still when you start sorting problems down and like so many guys do, or I guess most everybody sorts bottom and works up, this guy's still standing when those top three are out there driving, and his skeleton allows him to win. I can't say enough. This is a good pig right here. Good job, Mason Whitney, and I guess we could give Cody a little bit of credit, but tag 37 right here from Albus.
Next in our boy pig round is Savage Genetics with another down-eared one. This one's red in color. Tag 35, 13-1. He's a rock hard, seen enough. Says, I've been pumped to get into selling these rock hard pigs for the people that's seen them. If you want one that's bold, neat looking, and stout all over, get in right here on this tag 35 from Savage.
Well, we went to the opener last weekend, and Todd and Donnie and Blake had a red pig there that we ended up with that I thought was awfully good. That looked like a very good red pig, and this one fits right in. And I mean, Denver, Fort Worth. Todd would probably tell you maturation could probably get him later if you wanted him to, but another very good red pig here. And we've watched this breed throughout the summer, and Kelton and I have said this about a couple breeds tonight. they're hard to find. This breed is incredibly hard to find right now, and I think what Todd brought last weekend and what he brings us right now is practicality, a functional skeleton, and just a pig that's just square everywhere he needs to be square. This pig looks like he could probably go a little slower if you wanted him to, but a stout-headed, opened-up pig that's got a good skeleton in him. I think a very nice red pig here from Todd and Blake and Donnie.
Next in, again, HF Genetics male round here, lot 33 as an upward top hand. This is another one of those 29, so mate to the gilt that he's starting off with, that he's offering as a lease only. Again, that same sow line. You could talk about the champion there, 24 and 25, multiple times. That Went family's bear there that wins the Nebraska Point Circuit. And again, that same matriarch sow is the grandmother here. I'll see, interested to see what Kelton thinks, but as they come through this morning, this one got, it kind of got me excited. So lot 33, HF Genetics, upward, top hand, bulletproof.
Well, I said earlier that I really didn't go through the barn. I saw a couple pigs go to the wash track and stood over one pen of Josh's there because it was on the corner. But I love being able to be in these previews and see how they hit you when they come in. That first impression that is absolutely paramount. And as good as the males all are, and I think the entire sale offering, this Berkshire hit me really, really good when he came in. I didn't know exactly how Josh would introduce him and to go, but you get him and just study his head shape and the way that he's put together through the front portion of his body, the backward set to his forearm, knee, openness to his chest. That is a short-backed pig, and I don't probably get into that term near as much as some, but he's short-backed, tall-fronted, consistent in his body shape, muscle texture is awesome. Berkshires that tend to get out at their elbow and weird about their rear joints, he doesn't do that. And you know, I followed the HF Berkshire program quite a bit, probably because I got a little embarrassed there. About 3 or 4 years ago, I judged one of the early jackpots and beat a gilt, and Cassidy said, "Hey, I'm not upset about it there at all, but I think she's awesome." I think I was the only judge that ever beat her. I think she won every show after that. I know she won every show in the winter. I didn't call her quite stout enough. This pig reads stout right now, but I say that by saying that the HF Berks do get stouter and stouter. Everybody always says that, but theirs actually truly do. I truly believe this one looks like a champion bear. If you have the emphasis from a boar perspective, he's got those qualities also. They're really, really good one. Single male offering from HF, and I know one Cassidy's proud of here in lot 33.
MT Hart's next in tag 39 as we step back into the land race division here on another pay your bill, sober up happy hour. If you didn't hear all of the comments and the champions that listed on and on and on to his mate sister that he's going to lead off with that we spoke of earlier. Again, this is the littermate brother here, so you can echo a lot of the same. We were fortunate enough to get that bear gathered last year. They offered a little later here in the season that Kane showed, won the first class of land races there at Denver, and I thought that pig was awfully good, and I think this one's just flat better. I don't know how to say it. Very, very nice pig, I think. I like his sister. I like him. Tag 39 from MT Hart. Purebred land race. Lots of options depending on where you want to go and what you want to do with him here on this Pay Your Bills Sober Up Happy Hour from MT Hart.
Well, I think Josh said it best. There's a lot of options here. You talk about purity, then obviously you can go to Denver. Probably Fort Worth is not your best option here, nor San Angelo. But to me, this hog has got the spread down low and the spread up high that looks like he could get to February if you wanted him to. There's a lot of good pigs in this barn. There are. There's a lot of good pigs in this barn that I feel very confident tonight that are going to hang banners. This one is probably in my top end of the pigs that I would tell you. Good luck. If you have a land race, good luck, because this one's good. His spread is good. The set to his shoulder is good. The length of his hip, the set to his hock, and the angle to his rear foot are all very good. If you can get him where he doesn't back into a corner in the middle of February, I would tell everyone else good luck.
Next in, back to Louisiana here in the crossbred division of Fontenot Farms, lot 36, 29-5, in the fire, out for blood. Mom was the reserve heavy division Hampshire there at LSU a couple years ago. Grandma raised, left behind, and Big Daddy. You could talk about winning in Louisiana. You can talk about the Boars buying Big John's program there that lay in behind this one. Again, I've been waiting to see this pig and others from that's the state of Louisiana out in the fire because I've been hearing about them and hearing about them and hearing about them here for just a little bit of time. I saw this one come through just quickly earlier. I understood why I'd been hearing about them. Again, lot 36 in the fire, out for blood from Fontenot Farms.
Well, I commented about a litter that I saw earlier in the week in the Midwest out of this In the Fire board and told you they were just different, and that's the best way that I can describe them. And what's neat here is we got through the preview. I've come 3 times to be able to go. This was one of the only pigs I saw in the back. Guy Mark was rinsing him off in the wash rack, and I told my sister, hey, guy's little off-belted pig's really good over there. And she said, yeah, I saw him earlier. I followed him back to the pen, had no idea that he was out of this bore. That's immaterial. This is the kind that hits you hard, grabs you, is memorable, all those catchy, cool, cliche things that you so. This is a flat out incredible pig, and one that I'm excited that I was able to grab the microphone for, that I'll be focused on here in an hour or so, or whenever these things these sell. Awesome pedigree, awesome firm here, awesome pig, and what I think a prospect needs to look like.
Next in, back to Blunt Farms, tag 34, 3-4. Litter mate to their Gilt entry we talked about in lot 5 earlier. Unbuckled, I'm here, French Kiss. And I'll say that kind of the similar of I said in the Landy deal. If you didn't hear all of the champions and the banners from Kansas City to Texas, everywhere in between, behind this pedigree, then roll back the tape and hear it again because here's a mate brother, the one we've already talked about. I could say the same thing again. I'll just echo it one more time. How much this firm has done for us, but even more than that, I think Kelton maybe mentioned it earlier. Pigs from this firm, they just feed. They do what they're supposed to do, and I can assure you their best days will come in January, February, and March, and that's just how they are. That's how they feed. That's how they've always fed for us. So kind of like was said earlier, if you like them now, you will like them when you come to the springtime. So here's Blunt Farms, tag 34, unbuckled. I'm here, French Kiss.
Another very good pig here from Blonde. Just genuine width on both ends. That hog is genuine in his elbow and his foot placement up front. That hog he's got a lot up high and from behind, but yet the hog is so big pinned and so big hip. But you watch him go directly away, and his hock and his rear foot still sits square and secure from where his stifle's at from behind. One that I would assume is probably not a Denver, but yet that hog can just his continuation. I'd say whenever you want to show that pig, he's going to be ready to show. Whenever that might be in the winter or in the early spring, that pig's going to be ready to do it. And we can't reiterate that enough. Out of a firm that's done as good in our state as anybody has done down here, another great male here from Blunt.
Back in here to Hart Show Pigs in Lincoln, and tag 40, 60-8 here. Great white, heavy hitter again. Great white on Heart Attack's Ant. I saw all the pigs earlier, but I saw this one as Lincoln jumping back out. I don't know if he's getting him out for somebody else or going to the wash rack, but I missed this morning how genuinely stout this pig is for any color, but especially this one as he comes to you. If you haven't got to study this one, again, I'll say Lincoln's commitment to making white up-eared pigs has been fun to watch for me. Good friend of mine, and I think he brought a very, very fun one here. So again, tag 40 from Hart Show Pigs, great white on Heart Attack's Ant.
Well, yeah, Lincoln's an awesome guy to visit with, and somebody I always look forward to talking about pigs, and just there, and a great amount of knowledge. Maybe doesn't just talk just a whole bunch. In fact, we had a text exchange. I was going to read it. I can't find it here, but actually I do. I said I asked him if I could come by. He said I'm going to set him down here later. I said let me know. He says will do. He says I got a white pig. I said, I like white pigs. He says, me too. That's pretty much our conversation, and pretty much how he talks. And I'm going to say this might be the white pig he was saying that he had. And out of Great White on Heart Attack's aunt. Heart Attack was an awesome baby pig to look at. He is a great, very, very good big pig as well. And again, this one has boar quality about him, has boar feature, and yet still looks like the kind that's going to win any bear show that he goes to, if that's the way that you want to take him. That may be the biggest armed pig we've seen all night. This is an awesome pig, awesome firm there, great guy to work with that obviously has passion in here, and you can see why with tag 40.
Jump into this next one Kenley brings out, and Cud Farms back to Brad and Brownfield there, and talk lot 38, tag 38, 16-1. Again, here's another made for more wide awake, and again I got to see Brad's pigs there on my West Texas runs, and quickly there in the last there was two pigs that hit me awfully hard out of the first group. I took one to Cameron's there last weekend. It sold very well, and got a good home there, and then I brought this one here, and you can flip them and like them how you want, but I thought this made for more pig looked really good at the house, and he's traveled, and then this has been 10 days down the road. He looks the same now as he did then. What the pig you see is the pig I've seen now, the two different times that I've seen him. Again, Cud Farms, tag 38, made for more, wide awake.
Well, as Kelton said earlier, Cud is one of the more aggressive guys in our state right now as far as accumulating sows and making sure that they've got the right ones there at their place. And I think you can see by what they brought here today, the reason that they've invested what they have, physically and just with everything they've got going on. Another very nice pig here that Cud brings us, made for more, wide awake. The wide awake thing is, I think he's defied nature a little bit. That hog is still around. He's still siring, not only on the bottom side but on the top side, still siring winners at this point. I think you can see the value in the wide awake on the bottom side there with that hog's looseness of hind leg, just his bend that he's got. One that I think his window is wide open on when you want to show him early or late. A nice pig here from Cud.
Reeves and Smythe here as we jump in to our second to last lot to run through the preview here. In tag 41, buckle up, cash money. Mom, here's a mate to the third overall light cross at OIE. Gilt there in 2024. Grandma here was the reserve light cross there at Angelo in the Gilt show in 2023. Again, Cole sent me this. He'd been asking me about male pigs and which ones to bring and not, and we've kind of talked about it, and he sent me this picture. He said, what do you think? I said, definitely. I think was my response, something to that effect. And as you can see, again, the light cross thing continues to gain momentum. Again, Reeves and Smythe, lot 41, buckle up, cash money.
Tell you what, I like this pig quite a bit, and when you get out there amongst the wolves at a big show and in a big ring, you've got to stand out some way. And not only will this one's quality stand out, but this is one incredible color pattern for sure that actually kind of accentuates his good things there. Because I just love his neck and jawline. I love the ability to get his head and neck out of his body comfortably. His shoulder angle's right. For one that reads as an immature, attractive pig from the side, he is huge chested. He's flat about his sternum. His length of body is right there. And again, one of those that'll be memorable just from a color pattern standpoint, but when they dig in deeper and try to get the best quality, he's going to be way, way high. Out of the original buckle up boar, and everybody has kind of love hate or whatever with that boar. I absolutely love them. I think they feed awesome when they start good, and when they're made like this, they get real, real good. So I think an awesome blue one. We're rounding down towards the end of the preview, but I think we still got a high note here in tag 41.
It's the one we've been waiting on. Tag 42, BST 9-2, moving up, House of Cards, Glass House is the Berkshire male pig you see in the ring. And I got to, I've said it however many times, I was in West Texas last weekend and ran by there, the Primo sale there in Level Land and watched the preview there that afternoon and went back and dug a few out in the back. And Burke from BST was one of the ones I dug out. And he said, what do you think? I said, nice pig. He said, wait till you see the one I'm bringing to your sale next week. And then Travis unloads this one and sees. And so this is the purebred Berkshire. Again, lots of options. Options are wide open on what you want to do with him here on tag 42 from BST Farms. Moving up, House of Cards, papered Berkshire pig here to round out our preview.
Well, I've said this about a few people tonight, and I think it's accurate across the board. Travis has he's invested a lot in trying to make his pigs better and trying to make the right ones, and I think you can see that in the ring here. A very unique kind of a Berkshire pig that you got out here. You know, we raise Berks. I hate looking at them. I just hate looking at them. They're hard to see early. Some of them are little. Some of them are rigid ankled. Some of them are just. Anyway, it's a frustrating breed to raise, but when you can raise a good one, it's very rewarding, and I think he's done an awesome job here. His immaturity, his look from the side, his squareness of chest, but yet his range of motion out of both ends of his skeleton are all very good. He's still got raw muscle shape up high, and I think a very nice one. Like Josh had said, this hog is pedigreed, so you got the opportunity to take him to Denver, show him all throughout the winter whenever you might want to, but an awesome entry here from Travis Blattner.
So that's gonna wrap us up on the preview. Just a few things for thought here, and then we'll pray and bless the food. And I think the food should be here and ready. If it's not, it will be in 5 minutes. So just a few thoughts. If you'd like to kick anything out in the back, be happy to do that. A reminder, the pigs will not run through the ring again for the live sale. It will all be on their picture on those TV screens. So if you want to see them before the sale, or again, I should say, be sure and go out in the back. I'm sure anybody would love to get them out for you. Any questions you've got from any of the breeders. So my compliments to all of my crew. We'll have some more comments at the start of the sale, but we do have food for you. If Pancho's here, I assume he is, it'll be right over here. You can get better numbers, all that. We'll start at 7 o'clock. So if everybody just bow your heads with me, and we will we'll pray and bless the food, and y'all eat. So, Father, we again just bow before you and just praise you as our sovereign Lord and Creator. We thank you for just the simple blessings of life and health and the ability to just gather together under one roof. And Father, we just want tonight to glorify you, not ourselves. Forgive us where we fail you in that. But I thank you for all the people that are here.